Hey guys, welcome back to One Up Rivals. This is Doc.
Ozzy.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Really?
We actually tried to practice that off of the recording, and obviously we can't even get it right. So, anyways, yeah. So Doc,
Ozzy.
And Jay.
We need to figure out who's gonna go in what order. We need an order.
The reason I did it was because you went first.
we're going from left to right.
That's what I
How
was
is
gonna
that hard?
do, and then you ruined the sequence.
You ruined it by saying you were Jay.
Well, that was not recorded, so it didn't even count.
It doesn't matter.
So I did want to ask Jay, why did it take you so long to beat it again?
Yeah, so I think the last time I checked, because it's probably going to be more than that now, but it's probably at least 350 to 355 hours. So normally it doesn't take that long for a game like this to be beat. It has probably at least 100 hours worth of like story elements, and if you want to get, of course, you can always just, if you're hardcore enough, go to the Central Chasm, the Central or whatever, Hyrule Castle Chasm, whatever they're calling it, underneath the castle where you fight Ganondorf. So, I mean, there is a way. There's speedrunners and like hardcore people that would try to get there as soon as the first thing, like before even doing any dungeons or any temples.
Like without any shirt. Like
I don't know
naked.
how. I don't know how they do it.
Naked?
Yeah, just 3 hearts
Like
and
no
somehow.
gear, and they make it.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen, because I'm trying to avoid spoilers, so I didn't really watch any of those early videos. But there was crazy stuff like that for Breath of the Wild. So I'm sure somebody's out there trying to do a run like that.
Wasn't there also like people trying to beat him with like a ladle and the pot lid or something like crazy like that?
Yeah, something crazy like that. No, I didn't do that. Like you can see, I have a whole bunch of gear. Like I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not trying to go in it with that, and as many hearts as possible.
And the best armor set in the game. I think so.
Yeah, pretty much.
The fierce deity from Majora's Mask.
And it's upgraded at least, I think, 1 star per armor piece.
Is that a Korok parachute? I never noticed that.
Yeah. Well, no. Actually, it's
like, what's the design on it?
It's either a Korok. It does look like a Korok one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is like the mask.
Where'd you get that? Do you remember?
I don't remember. Honestly, I
never
don't
noticed
remember.
That. I forgot you could customize your parachute.
Yeah, I have a whole. I used to use this one that was a Zonite. Like it looked like Zonite Civilization. So I mixed it up. That's why I thought that wasn't the Korok one. I don't remember where I even got that Korok one, honestly. Might have been maybe doing a side quest or a side adventure from the Lost Woods.
Oh yeah.
From the great Dracu, the great Deku tree. So it might have been with one of those things there. Now here I'm just trying to get through it. I'm avoiding combat, obviously, on purpose. And the first time I was doing this, that was the first time I had seen any of this. So I was trying not to use any of my equipment, not trying to break any of the equipment that I carried in there with me. And then I didn't know if I was going to be able to use any of the sages up to a certain point. So
How would you compare the combat in this game to maybe other Zelda games?
I'd say it's quicker. It's probably the fastest combat.
It's more fast-paced.
Yeah, it's more fast-paced. There's more. A lot of the complaints that people have about it is the durability of weapons.
I'm a big complainer
In this
of
one,
that.
like they're not as durable in this one.
Yeah, in the whole Breath of the Wild kind of mechanics and gameplay, the weapons break. Obviously, there's durability for each weapon, shield, swords, bows, even, and so that's a big kind of divisive thing with that. And I don't have a problem with it because I feel like you have enough weapons, you run across enough gear that you're always replacing weapons as they're breaking. Because unless you're finding every Korok seed and upgrading your gear as soon as you get it, there is a point where you get to the game's kind of like towards the end of it where you're not really breaking the weapons faster than you're collecting them. So you're always going to have some kind of unique weapon that you can keep. And then there's a trick with the with the Octoroks that you can go repair your weapons, and that's not broken. That's actually part of the mechanics in the game. So
I
it's-
like that. I like doing
So
that.
even if you break your gear, you still hold on to it and then you can repair it.
So yeah, so what the
No,
game?
before it breaks.
Oh,
Yeah,
it gives you like a level or something on the gear?
It only
Or
like
it doesn't
flashes
tell
red.
you?
It starts flashing red when
Yeah.
it's about to break.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it starts
So then you
flashing
can like
red.
switch it out and hold on to it and then
That's one of my biggest criticisms is I wish they would have had a meter like to show the durability throughout of your weapon. Like
I mean, there is like there's
Minecraft has that.
Yeah, I mean, there's spreadsheets. There's spreadsheets on the internet that people are
I don't want
making
to have
now.
to read and look online just to see how long my sword
they have
is. gonna
spreadsheets
last.
of the durability of each weapon.
Yeah,
that's
with people
crazy.
pointing it like posting it online at this point because it's been so many months since this game came out. This game came out in what, May? I think I don't even remember.
I don't remember.
That whole month was a blur. It was just like I was playing it nonstop, and obviously I do play every Zelda nonstop like that. But something about the Breath of the Wild, revisiting that lore and revisiting that world is just something that is like no other experience, like no other Zelda I've ever played. And I know a lot of people don't like that. Don't like, oh, that the sequel takes place in Breath of the Wild map or that Hyrule. I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind the durability because it gives you a sense of accomplishment when you do get through bosses or enemies, or you're just stuck with certain weapons and you have to switch them out. You can't, be stuck with just one weapon that's overpowered and then you just dominate the entire game or the enemies.
So more strategy because
Yeah.
you have to.
Way more strategic.
Yeah.
And even the Master Sword, even though it has unlimited durability in the sense that it breaks, it loses its, like it says, it's low on energy there. It just goes away, so it replenishes after like 5 minutes. So there's a cooldown, so it doesn't break. It just doesn't. You can't use it. It's just in your inventory, like grayed out.
You need
I don't
to
know how I
recharge the Master
survived that.
Sword.
What's that?
You have to recharge it. It has rechargeable batteries.
Yeah. Yeah, it does actually. So I was trying to avoid that, like running into this part of the game on low energy, on like low battery charge for the Master Sword. Because I didn't
It
know.
drains down as you're using it, or
Yeah,
in
as you're-
combat?
Yeah, it's kind of like the durability meter for the weapon. So as you're using it, it's draining the
but
energy
it's more
down.
of an energy meter.
Yeah, it's more of the energy meter, but there's no meter to look at, so it's just based on.
Do you get like an intuition about it though?
Yeah,
after a
you
while?
do. Yeah, you kind of, as you're playing. There, I mistimed the stamina meter because I just ran into it because I always forget where I'm running, and I don't take a breath to replenish the stamina meter, and then I just start to climb from impatience. Yeah, but you start to get intuitive about the weapons, and you start to realize what works and what doesn't. And I like messing around with the different combinations of gear. And like right now I have the gloom gear on because there's a lot of gloom on the way down there. So what that gloom gear does, and what I like, the Midna's mask is part of that gloom resistance, and it adds the three heart gloom resistance. So the other two pieces are part of the like Zonite civilization gloom gear, which you can customize at that shop, and you can customize a pigment on it, the color variation, which is kind of cool. And so I like that Midna, which was part of, like, before it used to be you have to scan in an amiibo. Now you just find it with these treasure chest locations, these maps you find in the Sky Islands, which is interesting. So you go to the sky to get the maps that show you a treasure chest that's in the depths, which is the very bottom part of this 3-tiered structure map, which is very interesting, which I've never done. I mean, I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen that in another game.
In another game. Yeah, I was
Let
going to
alone
say
Zelda.
Yeah, I was going to say let alone Zelda.
I think I remember seeing a video early on about someone jumping from the Sky Cities down into the dungeons, like straight through.
Yeah, you could go from the very top all the way to the underground in one go without loading.
Yeah, without rendering.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it loads it, but somehow they hide the loading
Oh,
Even-
okay. Like
it does-
technically it does load, but
Yeah,
I think that's
technically
why
it does load.
the tunnels when you're going to underground are so long. I think it's masking the load, honestly. But it looks cool.
like is there like a buffer? Like when you initially enter the tunnel, there's like a
It's
blackish
literally,
zone.
yeah, it's literally like a tunnel that's just filled with gloom, and because it's all gloom, it's just dark.
and it's
so
far
you're just,
easier to render that way.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
just jumping into literal darkness,
Oh yeah.
which is really cool.
Yeah, which is the same. Yeah, it is really cool, and it's a really
And the
interesting
music,
technique.
when the music kicks in and it's all creepy and you feel the atmosphere, it's like, you know, the from Stranger Things when they're in the
Upside down?
the upside down. That's what it feels
Is
like.
that what it's called? I
Yeah.
just thought
No,
that
I
that
think
was cool.
that's what it is. It's upside down. They have like a weird hazy effect. Someone from Nintendo had to have watched Stranger Things, because like you get that like atmosphere. It's dark. It's depressing. The music kicks in.
Well, at least they must have at least watched one episode.
Yeah, because that's just amazing. Like even some developers, like other developers of other games, were like they don't know how they did some of the stuff they did in this game
In like the
on the Switch.
ascension right here, where that power up. Like I'm looking to ascend. I'm just kind of seeing if you can ascend, but that ascension power up where you can go through pretty much any ceiling that's low enough. When you're loading, that's how it hides the load, because it's going through whatever
the
ceiling.
animation of passing through the whatever the
it's
rock
just a
or whatever.
generic. Yeah, it's just a generic loading.
It's
whenever
like
you're
you're-
going up, like you're swimming. It looks like you're swimming upstream.
It changes the background to some like weird
Green,
mystical,
yeah,
like
mystic
weird
energy.
aura portal thing, and it's like you're swimming through the whatever you're going up to.
And so here, that's why I kept that gloom resistance gear on, just so I wouldn't lose any hearts, essentially. So I just try to get to this imprisoned chamber, the Central Hyrule Depths. That's what it's called. So the depths is the bottom of the map, correct? And
Yes.
these depths seem to go underneath the depths, underneath that. So I don't know. It's almost like a fourth layer.
Yeah, a secret fourth layer.
A secret fourth layer, because it goes underneath that, because there was I think if you ascend from here, you end up in the depths,
So yeah, you don't even go above ground. You go just to the underground.
just to the underground. Yeah, you wouldn't even go up to like the surface.
Yeah.
That's how far down deep this chasm is in the depths. And well, of course, this is where all the gloom is originating from, and we'll probably see where that's coming up.
Well,
And you're going even further down, and you're already
because it all came from Ganondorf,
right. Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, yeah, it's from this giant energy, whatever. This gloom tree. That's what it looks like a gloom tree, that it was just kind of sprouting from his power up.
So that's the thing. Did he get the gloom and just weaponize it, or did the gloom come from him? Like, what came first? Was the gloom there and he's like, oh, this is pretty cool, I'm gonna use this? Or did it just come from him?
Like, did he create the gloom?
Yeah. Do you know?
That's an interesting question. I actually don't know. I would be making up the answer. I actually don't know.
Well, give us your fan theories then on what you think.
Well,
Just from playing Breath of the Wild
well,
and playing through this game.
because
Yeah,
he is-
understanding the story and Zelda storyline and all
Yeah,
that.
so if you understand Zelda's Triforce lore, where each piece of the Triforce is associated to either Link, Zelda, or Ganondorf, it has to be balanced. And so Ganondorf got the Triforce of Power. And so if he has ultimate power, Link has ultimate courage, and Zelda has ultimate wisdom, which each one of those is associated with a certain goddess, the goddesses that created Hyrule itself. And I'm not gonna pronounce their names, but the three golden goddesses, they each have one of those powers associated with them, or quality or spirit, whatever that is. So I would think that Ganondorf would him having the Triforce of Power would actually be able to create the gloom itself. And I don't think it would have been there already. I think he manifested that, like he
Like his hatred
essence,
was so powerful.
like the way that in Skyward Sword, Demise, just becomes the reincarnation. That's what becomes a reincarnation of Ganondorf, and he claims in that Skyward Sword that he kind of wages like a eternal war against Link and Zelda, and it says that he's going to keep being reincarnated as long as Zelda keeps coming back, which is a reincarnation of the goddess of Hyrule, and Link is just a reincarnation of that spirit of, of courage, of eternal kind of fortitude, and being able to be unwieldingly tough, like no matter what's thrown at him, no matter what kind of odds are against him, he can just kind of like figure it out and not get fazed by it, and then just overcome and kind of like defeat whatever that enemy is. And that eternal kind of battle with the enemy is the demise reincarnated as Ganondorf over and over, which he claimed he would do.
So they kind of in Skyward Sword used that explanation for why it's always Link, Zelda, Ganondorf, basically.
Yes, because
in different games that take place in different eras.
Yeah, in different games in different eras. And then also from what I've read, from what Miyamoto and the developers, from the directors of different Zelda games itself, how they kind of tell it, or how they explain it, is that it's the Legend of Zelda. Like, it's like, and here I got really close to being like,
I kept telling you like, are you sure you're not gonna fall off? Like, maybe you should not get closer to the center, because it looks like you're gonna fall off.
No, I didn't realize how close to the edge I was there. Like, I don't know if it wouldn't have killed the gameplay. Like, I don't think I would have had to restart, or the save file. It would have just restarted me with less hearts, and probably like maybe before the beginning of the Demon King's army fight. So I don't think I would have had to restart the entire thing.
Oh, okay.
It wouldn't have been like game over, I think.
Oh, okay.
Is what I'm saying. If I would have fell through that, whatever that is, in like the 5th or 6th level. And so the way the developers were explaining it was that it's a legend. It's a Legend of Zelda. So every time it gets told or retold, it's a different variation of that.
Yeah.
So how legends would have some kind of mythology that would get exaggerated or added on as ancient civilizations.
Every time someone tells a legend, it's different, right?
It's different, exactly.
Link has a boat in this one. Oh my god, Link could fly. Did you know Link could fly?
Yeah, so that whole adding
No, I heard
on
he had a talking boat.
the King of Red Lions.
Yeah. No, on this one he could build cars.
No, well then there's
so
the
you're
one
saying Link is like Jesus? Is that right?
Yeah, everyone just keeps spreading his legends. No, I heard Link could build a car. I heard he had a mech.
Yeah, and one he's a carpenter.
He fed a bunch of
like
people with one loaf of bread, and he turned water into wine.
He's I mean, I don't know if he built the train himself, but he knew how to conduct a train somehow. I don't know how he was able to like get his engineering degree and then like figure out how to do that. For people that play
he just
Spirit
pretty much
Tracks,
figures out everything, right?
Yeah,
Right.
Which is why it's like the whole spirit of that character, which is why I think it's voiceless, because there's sort of like a confidence without ego, so they don't need to have it voiced. I mean, obviously, because the N64 they never decided that
Well,
it was
it's a
gonna,
Nintendo thing. I feel
yeah, that's more a Nintendo thing. But even when they started voicing characters,
Do you think
for
that maybe
Twilight
they're
Princess,
saving money on voice acting by doing that?
they might.
That could be a reason. I didn't think about that.
That could be a reason.
They
but
have a lot of money. They don't need to save money. They have
but,
billions of dollars.
No, I just think that it's just kind of like it would be a disconnection between.
You think they'd
Link-
rather focus on the story, the gameplay, and stuff versus having another element of doing the voice acting and the story for that and the direction for that? And,
Yeah, because the reason why is because it's called The Legend of Zelda, not The Legend of Link. And so what I think is, even though you're playing as Link, he kind of takes a back seat yeah, you are Link, you're playing as him, but really the story is about Zelda, and the story is about defeating Ganondorf and his rise to power, and the wisdom, and the golden goddesses and the creation of Hyrule. And so Link is just sort of in the background.
He's a fill-in for the audience. That's
Yeah,
what he is.
exactly. He's the link between, he's kind of breaking the fourth wall between the player and the kind of like facilitating that, you know, and kind of breaking the fourth wall with the developers and the players, and be able to make that connection. But he's not central to the story. It's not really about him. And so I think that's why they do that, where they decide maybe they're not going to voice him, because they don't really want that spoiling that the mystique of what he would sound like, because everybody else has been voiced at this point now.
Well, he was voiced in the cartoon, and that was horrible.
Yeah, but we don't get that. Never happened. That was in a universe that never happened.
That's a timeline. That's a dark timeline. I was gonna ask you, I think we talked about it last time, but for the movie, the Legend of Zelda movie, how should they do Link? Should he not talk at all? Should he have an inner monologue? Should he have other people talking for him? I think we talked about this. What if he has, my theory is how they could do it is he finds a companion like a fairy, like Navi, and she takes the place of talking for him. So she's like, so if a character's talking to Link, she responds for him instead of Link talking. And then he like nods or does his little like grunts and stuff.
Well, the only example that I have of any media or any entertainment thing is Penn and Teller.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
He can convey without any words, and that plays well with their dynamic, and they can get away with it. So it would be kind of like that whole Penn and Teller.
That's how you would do Link.
Yeah, you would have to do something like
someone
that.
else
Yeah.
with him.
Yeah.
Like a fairy, which
Yeah.
in Ocarina of Time, that's what Navi did. She would talk and respond and like make fun of him, or Midna even in Twilight Princess would do that same thing.
Yeah, because they're always making fun of him. That's the thing, is they're always like,
Calling him lazy.
yeah, they're always
in.
no, they're always crapping on Link. I don't know if you remember in Skyward Sword, there's that robot that you wake up and he's always calling him short pants. And
No, I don't remember
there's like
that.
this in Skyward Sword, this whole thing where this robot that you wake up that helps you recover pieces from the when you're on the Sky Island, but then you have to go retrieve these items, and you have to use this like whatever technology they have back then. And so this automaton or whatever, this like device that you wake up. And so what's it called?
The robot.
No, the companion. I forgot what her name is.
Fee? Pie?
Yeah, Fee. And because she's the embodiment, she becomes the Master Sword, right? But that's a spirit that inhabits the Master Sword, but it's the goddess sword, and then she becomes like, goes and imbued into the sword, and then sleeps. So anyway, she's the one that wakes up that thing, that robot, and every time he approaches Link, he always makes fun of him. He's always calling him like short pants or some making fun of the height, making fun of his height. And so Midna does the same thing.
How tall is Link canonically? Do you know?
I don't know. I have
kinda
no
look this
idea.
up.
He's not that tall.
Play.
Oh,
Wait,
we
wait,
discussed this too.
Orlando Bloom.
I was thinking.
Yeah, but the problem is that, so you were just saying about his stature or whatever. Now what if it was
Tom Holland. That's my vote.
because I was gonna say Orlando Bloom
Tom
too,
Holland.
He'd be perfect.
but
He's
Elijah Wood.
Well, that's
he does have that boyish charm still.
um
I think Tom Holland, because he's young looking enough. Like he doesn't look old. He's like
Tom Holland, like Spider-Man.
Yeah. I think he'd be a good Link. He has that like boyish charm elfish face.
yeah, but he's too awkward.
And he's already Spider-Man.
Tom
That's
Holland's
fine.
too awkward.
That's fine. They have Mad Max. What's his name? Tom Hardy's Mad Max. He's Bane. Like
Yeah, but Mad Max has what's that called? Like when you have a certain demeanor about you. Mad Max isn't awkward. Like
so you'd want someone more stoic, is what you're saying. For Link.
exactly. That's the word.
Yeah, Orlando Bloom would be perfect.
The reason why
He's
is
too
because
I think he's too
though.
old. Yeah, I was
too
gonna say the
old.
He
same
would
thing.
be.
He's too old.
No, but
A young Orlando Bloom.
And the reason
would be perfect.
And the reason that I know why like the Spider-Man thing, the reason why because he's only 17, he's in high school, he's awkward, he's still trying to figure out his voice, and he's becoming a superhero. That's why his demeanor is that way. He's not sure of himself. Link isn't not sure of himself. He's very confident. He just gets made fun
He's
of a
just
lot.
lazy.
He's just lazy. He wants to
'cause
sleep a lot.
sleeps in. What a lazy bastard. So I did look up, according to this website, to Google, Screen Rant, he, in Breath of the Wild at least, I don't know about the other games, he is 5'2".
Yeah,
That's pretty
it's
short.
He
pretty
is short pants. That is short.
That is, I
Oh
guess
my
he
god,
is.
he is really.
He
I
can
didn't
wear
realize-
shorts for pants, essentially.
He does in some games. Like that's why he has a skirt. Like man, I didn't realize he was that
It's not
short.
a skirt, it's a kilt.
It's a kilt.
That's crazy. I didn't realize he was that short.
So maybe
No wonder he has to have courage. Oh my
maybe
god, dude.
Elijah Wood could play
It's like Neapolitan.
Neapolitan.
Yeah.
Neapolitan.
What, Neapolitan? I was gonna say.
Yeah, what
Neapolitan.
do you
I'm thinking of ice cream. That's why.
Napoleon.
There we go. That's
Napoleon.
That's
I wonder how, if he's 5'2", I wonder how old he is. What do you think?
I think because in this game he's only like either 16 or 17. He's not older than 18. I know that.
it's different in every game, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Because Ocarina of Time, he's like a
He's a
little
little
boy,
kid,
and
but
then
then
he
he-
goes to an adult when
Well,
he takes the
he's-
Master Sword.
He's
Like they specifically say that.
They say adult Link. They say young Link and adult Link. That's like they differentiate them.
you can surmise his age because when he gets locked in when he's kid Link, he's about 10 years old. And he believes actually at first that he's actually an elf. He doesn't know
He
he's
is an
actually
elf, isn't he?
No, he's not.
Oh,
He's
he has elf ears.
So that's the thing. In the game Ocarina of Time, the whole
Is he? What is that?
he's Hylian. He's from a Hylian race.
No,
of
what's that
beings.
from Harry Potter? Where they're half
Halflings? Halflings?
Muggle?
Muggle? Is that what it is? I thought that was just the regular people.
No, Muggle is like your half.
Is your half
Oh no, wait, that is half blood,
a half blood? Yeah, I think it is half blood.
something like that.
So he's half blood.
So no, he's actually full Hylian.
What is that?
It's just the race of like what
Is
Zelda
it a
is.
type of elf?
No, it's
It's
actually
like
not an
humans.
elf.
Ears.
It's humans in their world.
It's their human. Yeah, they actually have a
don't know.
human.
He has elf ears though. There has to be something about that.
Well, no, because the Ocarina of Time reference is that he believes he's an elf
So
because
he got plastic surgery to get elf ears.
no, he's actually confused because his
So he got
his-
plastic surgery.
Yeah, he did get plastic surgery.
He's it says at least 17 in Breath of the Wild.
Well, it's
And
about the
10
same age.
in Ocarina of Time. You're
Yeah.
right. 10 in as young Link.
Well, that's what I was saying. His young Link, he's 10, and
And
you
they say
surmise his
7
age
years.
is 17 because he gets locked in for 7 years.
So they consider 17 adult. So he is
Yes.
adult Link in this one then.
So he's considered an adult at 17. And that was the whole thing with him is that the Great Deku Tree revealed to him that he's in fact not an elf. And so the entire time they're making fun of him, the other elves in around the Great Deku. When you
Why did he think he was an elf? Where are his parents?
yeah, I was just gonna say, what if there's a game that talks about his parents? Because in any
Or
of the
what
games,
did they talk about in the movie?
they never. Oh, they might. That might be a plot for the movie, actually.
No, I think he's reborn. He's just sort of the essence of courage
He's
So
like
reborn.
he's Jesus.
I was
He
gonna say
is.
he's like, yeah,
He's
or
just
like
like Jesus.
like Anakin. He was literally
He's-
born from
Yeah,
the
from
forest.
the
forest.
from the
Triforce.
From the he was born
Yeah.
from the
From the
Triforce.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
It's all
Because-
coming together.
Zelda's the Hylian goddess reborn. Ganondorf is power, ultimate power reborn, and so that just sort of essence. And so yeah, he's just born from the Triforce.
Who's this guy right here?
Ganondorf.
Is it really?
Yeah,
So
it's
It's his other form or something.
it was his initial form.
So this is kind of the final
yeah.
stage
This is the
of
fight.
it right here.
No,
Yeah,
this is
this
like
is
the
the fight?
beginning of the fight,
Well, that's what I mean. Like final stage of the
the level. Yeah,
dungeon
Yeah.
or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, this is the final, like the actual fight itself.
Okay.
And so what it is that in Breath of the Wild and even now they have these ancient like beings that have been in like mummified form, but they're alive. They're like in a not stasis, but
you know
they're-
that guy from 300, the movie?
Yeah,
He's giving me that kind of I
You
forget
get
what the
Xerxes?
yeah,
The
I
bad
think
guy?
so. The like giant guy.
Yeah, with all the
whatever.
gold and
Right,
chains.
yeah.
Oh my god,
I
yeah.
got vibes of that,
I
yeah.
see that.
maybe we can have that actor. I thought you were talking about the guy who was actually.
Oh yeah, they could have that. Whatever that guy play this Ganondorf.
Oh yeah, who would play Ganondorf? Who would be your vote?
Well, I forgot. Well, actually, from now that Doc brought up the movie 300, the guy with the beard, I forgot what his name is.
Oh, Gerard Butler.
He
Yeah,
might be too short. How tall is Ganondorf?
you think so?
He's
It'd
probably
have to
like
be that.
7
You don't think they
foot.
could-
No, you know who I was thinking of? The guy from.
Didn't we
I
say
forgot.
Josh Brolin last time? That was my vote
That's
for Ganondorf.
Dave Bautista.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah, he
that'd be
could.
good.
he could.
That'd be good. Either him or
Yeah,
what's
he
that
could.
movie?
I'm
Thanos.
blanking on the movie.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, there you go. Or yeah, whoever played Dano.
That Josh
Yeah.
Brolin. We said that. We said that last time.
Thrax, is that the name? What was the name of his
I
character?
don't know his name.
I don't remember his name. But yeah, we you said Thanos, and I'm like, yeah, Josh Brolin. He'd be good Ganondorf.
We have either
He has the voice for it.
yeah, Thanos, or like you said, Bautista from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
He's
that'd be
actually,
another good one. The Rock.
The Rock. Actually, yeah, they might actually cast The Rock
What's your
for
name?
Ganondorf.
What's
It
your name,
doesn't matter.
Draboni?
Your name Link. It doesn't matter what your name is. I have the Triforce of Power.
Yeah, he has a people's sword. He's got the people's sword.
He drops the people's elbow on Link. Oh man, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, he's like justifying his evil ways and just calling it the people's, like the people's Triforce.
People.
The
I'ma
people's
take Link.
Triforce of power.
Take Link and his candy ass Triforce of Courage. Jabroni.
How would you say this fight with Ganondorf compares to the other games?
It's probably the most difficult early on, only because whenever he hits you, because he has a gloom sword, the samurai sword, which aesthetically looks more like the Wind Waker, but this has never been approached in this way, where not only is he taking away your hearts, your regular hearts, what he's doing is every one of those great hearts is a gloom.
You can't heal them.
You can't heal them unless you use a recipe specifically to heal those gloom hearts.
First, and then you can regain the hearts.
And then you can regain the hearts, but
Yeah, so
it doesn't
it's like double.
Yeah.
it's like double. Exactly. So you have to heal those gloomed hearts first. Even if you have gloom resistant armor, it doesn't matter at this point, because those 3 hearts don't resist against gloom attacks. It only resists against the gloom itself when you're touching it. So that's something that's tricky, because you have to really like avoid being hit early on if you want to survive, because I knew at this point it wasn't going to be just, okay, you just feed him right here and that's it. He's done. So I had to pace myself. I had enough of the gloom recovery recipes, but I knew I couldn't use them early on. So I was trying to just pace myself right here, and I knew, okay, I have enough hearts going in, but I need to see what's next in this fight, because I know he's gonna transform in this. So his whole aesthetic looks very like Wind Waker,
Like a samurai.
like a samurai, exactly. But this game is very Eastern, kind of like ancient Japan. So, and that's what kind of the Wind Waker was, a kind of like ancient Japan slash pirate lore aesthetic, which was interesting. Which is more like anime, I would think. It was like One Piece.
What he said
Like
is
one
something
anime,
that
like-
you would see an anime villain say, I'm
One
not
Piece.
even at my ultimate form yet. Like, that's something straight out of anime.
And of course it would
I love
be.
this.
Like, yeah.
His health bar, look at how big it extended.
Yeah.
I love that. I said it should have kept going to
Or
the
wrapped
other side of
around.
the screen.
Yeah, it should have.
They should have kept going with that.
Yeah,
That's
they should have. They
hilarious.
should have broke like video
Whoever's
game.
idea that was, I hope they
was
got
great.
a promotion. That's amazing.
They've never done.
Like,
Normally,
that's hilarious.
yeah, it is.
How long they made
It's
it.
very meta, video game meta.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, instead of just doing like the same amount, just a double bar, like a different color, like in other games, let's just make it a long life bar.
Yeah, but that was good. It was like a way to kind of break it up because the tone of it is very dark and very like, you know, you're fighting Ganondorf. But the fact that they have a little bit of sense of humor about it like that.
Yeah.
And
like that killed me the first time I saw that.
yeah, because I wasn't expecting that. I don't think I've ever seen that. Normally what it would be was like 2 bars. It would be a double bar.
Or like a different color.
Or a different color. Or you would just have like like maybe twice the amount of so this
health.
one was, yeah, twice the amount of health. So this one was interesting because you had to fight his puppet or his clone or whatever. And so he made, I think what was like 4 or 5 of them. And the good thing was that you have the sages with you. And as you're unlocking them, I'm guessing that each one of those, I would have had to have fought without sages. It would have been really tough without keeping them busy, because they would have just been all going after me simultaneously. So I think that's the benefit of actually going in there with each of the sages.
It's time to finish him off, Link.
And so I did have the Fierce Deity armor on, so it gave me enhanced attack power, and then I had also the attack up from that recipe I had consumed. And it was a
and I love this.
Yeah.
Just using lemons.
So yeah, I tried to feed him as much as I can early on with lemons.
He was just shooting lemons at him.
I was. It was tricky to get the timing on this the first time because I kept trying to dodge, but it was just, it was weird. The timing of it, I couldn't get it down. So I was just trying to figure out other strategies. I was trying to, okay, like not use all my recipes early on.
The other thing is you didn't want to cheese it too much by shooting bombs and stuff. You could have. You were trying to go more honorable.
Well, not honorable. I wanted to give him a straight up sword fight. I didn't want to. I could have. I had plenty of bombs, and I had
just kept shooting bombs at him. Honestly,
yeah. I mean, I have a 180, and then I had the bow that shoots three arrows per 1 arrow, and I have plenty of. I have like, I don't even know how many arrows. I have a lot. So I was just trying to look through everything.
So you wanted to beat him honorably.
Yeah, just with the regular sword fight. I want to do just a regular sword fight, so I try to keep it as. And then I was just
Except
okay.
for
I'm just gonna
use
use lemons on him. Maybe to blind him.
Squeeze it in his eye.
Squeeze some lemon juice in his eye.
Because I know I could get. Let's see how much health that took. Because each one of those is 3. Each one of those shots. So it's like using 1 bomb, but he gets hit for 3. That one, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna use lemons. It's not as dishonorable. I'm just kind of like blinding him a little bit, enough to run away from him, and it was working actually.
Putting lemon on his wounds.
Yeah, instead of salt, is adding lemon.
I love the image of just Link running around. He has cut open lemons and he's squeezing,
like squeezing them in Ganondorf's eyes.
I mean, it's not like it's not said that he doesn't have the Triforce of Honor. It's courage.
No,
I mean,
it's
courage at any
exactly.
cost, right?
Yeah.
Courage.
Well, just whatever it takes. Whatever it takes to defeat Ganondorf.
It doesn't. You don't have to be honorable.
No, you don't. I just wanted to make a fair fight for him, because I knew I was going to defeat him either way. Because he's all about that. He's all about that sort of Japan, like samurai honor and, you know, dishonorable fights. And so he was just kind of like with the whole samurai sword when he starts the first part, where like, and he keeps doing that. So he keeps taking out the samurai sword.
How would you feel a game where Link turns evil or is being corrupted?
I mean, besides like Dark Link.
Yeah, like it's actually Link, because that's more of like a different entity. That's not really Link. That's like supposed to represent his darkness, I guess. He's fighting his darkness, but what about like him actually possibly turning evil in a game?
But you would have to play. I mean, you mean you would have to play as Evil Link?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how they would do it for a story.
They would introduce another character that you would fight, like defeat Dark Link to get him back.
Or like that, it'd be a, like you said, you get a new character you play as, and then Link is the final boss, and then it's like it's considered the dark hero timeline? What if Link turned evil?
And instead of fighting Ganondorf, you fight Dark Link.
Yeah, like what if in this timeline?
You fight him as Ganondorf.
Whoa, there's a good Ganondorf.
I mean, I don't know if you would.
That'd be crazy.
It would be crazy like that, but I don't think they would ever deviate from having the player be Link.
They haven't ever done that.
No, they don't think they would ever do that, only because for consistency. I don't think they would ever break away from that. I mean, there's very few games where you become the enemy and then you fight as a different character to fight against the character that you normally would be playing as. And so that would take a brave, that would be a brave approach, but I don't know if they would be willing to do that. That would just,
Because what do they do after this? Honestly,
well, from what they've said from the interviews is that they've just completely have moved on from not Zelda, but have moved on from Breath of the Wild and Tears of a Kingdom world to create something brand new.
I hope they keep the building. If anything else, one thing that kind of annoys me about Nintendo is they come up with these amazing gameplay mechanics, these new like things we've never seen, and then for the next game they completely scrap them.
I could actually see them scrapping that building
But
thing.
I hope they, if that's one thing they keep for future Zelda, is building,
And
because that's so
fusing.
fun.
And fusing weapons to
It's whatever. But I think the more building, like creating any device, any weird contraption, I love that. More games should have that. There's not enough games.
Well, I think that there's going to be a spawn of clones.
Oh, yeah, I hope so.
Of clone games that have that mechanic
The only
as
other
central.
game I can think of is Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. But it's like, that game
Yeah,
is
it's-
whatever.
It's not as intuitive. Yeah, it's limited in Tears of a Kingdom. It's limited because you can't build whatever you want because there is a limit to how much stuff you can put together because of that magic glue. I guess after like whatever 15, 16 pieces, it starts to break apart like the adhesive.
It's not crazy glue. It's
No,
just,
it's magic glue.
yeah, it's just magic.
It's not
glue.
Gorilla Glue.
No, it's not
Yeah,
Gorilla
it's not
Glue.
Gorilla Glue.
But you guys showed me some of that, and I was pretty surprised about the variety or
Well, yeah, because you saw that.
how intricate you can get with it, even with the limitations on it.
Well, yeah, because you saw that. What was that? The chicken walker I made, and I didn't look up any videos. And he knows that was within the first month. I wasn't looking up any videos. I didn't want to spoil or get influenced by any other outside sources. So when I started to build that chicken walker, for people that don't know, that's
Well,
from
don't
Star
describe
Wars.
it. Well, yeah.
From Star Wars. I mean, but yeah, we'll
I was
have a
gonna say
video.
we'll make a video if you
I
guys
was
want to
just
see a
gonna say,
video.
yeah.
Let
Let
of
us
the
know
chicken
down in the
walker.
comments, and we'll show you some of the crazy builds Ozzy and Jay did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, but yeah, I mean, Ozzy was messing around with that mechanic as well, and he was building some interesting
Sometimes
stuff.
I would just not even build something, even when we were just playing, and I would like just mess with the physics. Remember where I was making that like metal thing?
That
Rotate.
spinning laser
Yeah.
thing you did.
I made like a perpetual almost a perpetual
Perpetual
motion
motion device. Yeah.
with just a metal slab and I think the rockets. And it was
Yeah.
like the way the physics interacted was so weird.
No, the most interesting
Oh no,
was,
it was the gravity. What are they called? The ones that
it was
Big
rockets. It
anti-gravity?
was rockets.
no, it wasn't those. It was I was messing with. Remember, I put 4 of those
stabilizers.
Stabilizers.
The
I put on
stabilizers.
each corner, and it made the thing weird. It like
It
the physics
destabilized.
because
So
it didn't
the
know
4
where to stabilize
exactly.
You overstabilized
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Overstabilized it.
like creating like a supernova.
So it was like rotating like perpetual motion device. It was moving on
You
its
almost
own.
created a black hole in the
Yeah,
game.
exactly.
yeah, because the time and space of the video game, it didn't know what to stabilize where and what direction because you had 4 of them.
They're like,
Normally
no one
it's
is going to
supposed
do this. No
yeah,
one's going to do
one
this.
is.
Force stabilize.
And he did. He was able to make that like
They're like,
That
we're done with the
metal
stabilizers physics because we don't think anyone's crazy
Yeah,
enough to.
no one's gonna put 4 in opposite directions. The game like literally doesn't know which way does it go upright, which is upright.
But then what was interesting is when you put those rockets and you let it go,
oh yeah, it was just flying
it
crazy.
was it wasn't rotating fast on its axis, or was it just flying in one direction?
It would just go off in one crazy direction when I added that additional force.
And then another thing that we talked about was making a device with the same amount of pieces but repurposing it, so like a vehicle that might be transformable in a sense.
Yeah.
So it might be like a bike, and then that transforms into a boat, and then that transforms into like a flying machine. And so using the same amount of pieces, but being able to repurpose those. So that machine that you built, that was like a torture device for enemies,
for bokoblins,
and it was like
with
clamping.
springs. It was with springs,
and you have to put that
where
on
you
a
trap
video.
them and it electrifies it.
them.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, I
yes.
saw
I
that one.
forgot about.
Do you remember how to do that?
Yes, I do.
If you know how
It's-
to.
yes,
Okay. Did you save it in one of your favorites, or
No, because I think I was just messing around in your game. I don't
You
think I
should've.
saved it.
Oh, you should
But
have
I
saved
remember
it.
how to recreate it. It's
Okay.
like a back panel, and then two like it's a two like panels of springs on each side, and then the
and it was metal, so it
Yeah,
had
it
to
was
be metal surfaces.
and then the shock emitter, and
the shock emitters,
I
that's right, that's
figured
how
out
you were
a way
doing
to time
perpetual.
it to where when you activate it, it clamps down and it electrocutes them. Because you have to get the timing right of when you put them.
And then they couldn't get out of that.
Yeah, they couldn't
right?
get out. Yeah.
And you were only trapping like a few at a time, but you could have taken to a whole group
Yeah.
of bokoblins or a group of enemies.
Yeah, I only
and
tested it
of
with like
bosses.
the ones
Yeah.
around, but we could have found an army of them and then tried to test it out. I forgot about that. I'm glad you brought that up.
Well, I just remembered right now when we were talking about the old builds, because I was when I was showing Doc the Chicken Walker build, which I had to figure out. I was literally for hours, for days, like trying to figure out the build that wouldn't rock too much forward or back, and then be able to get underneath it and then get into the control mechanism to be able to move it around. And then it had like 3 cannons, but I have videos, I have like little clips of it taking out the keys, the flying bat enemies, where it's like a whole group of them, because in here, whenever you're near a cave, they spawn like a whole bunch of them and they fly out. But sometimes near Death Mountain, there's just a group of them flying around. And when I got into that Chicken Walker thing, I had three of those laser beam emitters, and all of them were tracking. So when they grouped together, it just knocked down the entire group. So there's like more than 10, I would say, when it dropped the loot of those. And it was interesting to figure out, okay, the physics of it, how to get that thing to stabilize. And I did save it in my the favorite build though.
Is this his final form right here?
This is his final form, which
Oh, and
was,
you made
remember,
the joke of Double Dragon.
Yeah,
And
the Double Dragon.
Yeah, Double Dragon, because Zelda, spoilers, Zelda is a dragon right now. She is the other dragon.
yeah, so
I
you,
was wondering because she looked different.
Yeah.
Or the second dragon looked like it was the
So
good.
basically in
dragon.
the story, she gets teleported to the past and is stuck in the past, and then sends the Master Sword forward.
yeah, she's able to repair it in the past, and then somehow manipulate time and space, I guess, because she's the Sage of Time, and able to transport the weapon to send that piece of it when it's finally repaired. Because what you do is weird, how Link gets the broken Master Sword, puts it on this like pedestal thing that's like a time pedestal, I don't even know what it is, and somehow that transports it back in time where Zelda can repair it, but then it gets infused in her skull or her head, or I don't know where, but it's on her dragon form. And then you get on the dragon, and that's how you find the Master Sword in this.
Yeah, you pull it out of her dragon skull.
Yeah, out of her dragon, yeah. And so
So all this that you're seeing in the background, that's all playable area.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
down below.
everything,
That's crazy.
everything that you can see, you can go
That's
to.
crazy.
I wonder,
Anything.
I
Even
wonder,
those mountains in the back.
Yep, even those mountains in the back.
even those sky islands
That's
in the sky.
insane. Man.
Even those sky islands, everything you see on
can go
screen,
on.
behind you,
That's crazy.
underneath, because this it's taking place above in sky islands in the areas that you've already been familiar, like flying around with prior to getting to this point. So I think by this time right here, you're kind of familiar with the gliding and the diving and all that stuff. So underneath, if you know what you've done, where you've been, it's like familiar locations, and it's interesting because I've never seen that in a video game ever before.
Yeah, me neither.
Like that little tower of stacked of whatever thing, you can go there after this if it loads it before fighting Ganondorf again. And this is interesting, the double dragon, because you start playing Zelda and you finish playing Double Dragon, and then Demon Dragon.
I like Draconified.
Yeah, Draconified Demon Dragon. Demon King.
Oh, that was the other thing. I was like, Draconified Demon King, Demon Dragon.
Yeah, I don't think the title's long enough. And this was really interesting. I've never seen a fight like this. This kind of reminds me of like Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah. And we also said the music is sounds like a remix from like the Ocarina of Time Ganondorf fight.
The Ganondorf's Tower.
Yeah.
Where it sounds like when you're in Ganondorf's Tower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the music sounds like. That very the instrumentation and the tone of it. But then you hear that little bit of Asian, kind of Middle Eastern, or not Middle Eastern, Eastern.
Yeah, that they infused in this game with like Kakariko Village, which I like the original theme. Yeah, in Ocarina of Time. Kakariko Village. I don't like the new one in this game.
Yeah, I think they would have done that. I think they could have used the original.
I think they should have remixed the original. Like, I don't like the new one.
But maybe they felt like it was going to be too much, too nostalgic.
That doesn't make sense because they have Rito Village in this Dragon Roost Island.
Yeah, but it's a little bit different though. It's still remixed enough.
What?
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying to do. Just do that with Kakariko Village.
But you're saying because it's such an iconic sound, right? From
the original.
From all the original.
Yeah, we should have just remixed that. I don't like them. That was the one thing too that was kind of disappointing. There's some good tracks in this game in Breath of the Wild, but I feel like there's not enough music. Like Zelda's older Zelda games are known for their themes.
Well,
like
Ocarina of Time specifically because it has the actual
Wind Waker has
songs
a lot of good songs.
Like these two games don't have a song where you'd be like, oh, that's from Zelda Breath of the Wild, or that's from,
exactly. Like they
whereas
have a few,
like Ocarina of Time, like literally anyone
like
could
10.
you could play. Yeah,
I can name 10 songs
from
like Ocarina of Time.
You could play a song and people recognize it from Zelda.
Well, yeah, because one of my favorite tracks for Ocarina of Time is actually the music that plays during the Spirit Temple. That's amazing when you hear it. It's this weird kind of like it fits the Spirit Temple aesthetic very, very well, but as soon as you hear it, you know it. And there's also the one where like Ozzy said, the Kakariko Village, and then Lalan Ranch.
That's a
really good one too, which is really familiar. But
even,
they don't have that.
Well, take it easy. We're gonna get a copyright.
I think that was less than 5 seconds.
Well, you were on point.
Well, it wasn't that good anyway. So
no, actually, his tone was really good. It was actually really spot on. Yeah, but we might have to take that.
That's the other thing. Secret Stone. The powers they have in this game, they call them Secret Stones, even though ironically they stick out.
Yeah, they're not in secret places at all. They're like
they're obvious stones.
Yes, they're
obvious
very
stones.
obvious stones.
But he's gonna destroy his secret stone, which is the most obvious spot on him.
Like put it like on your ankle or in your leg or something.
And I like how I said he's going to, like, I was the one controlling Link. Link was in full control at this point. He had taken over my consciousness.
Also, we thought because it was red, so usually when the world turns red, it means there's a blood moon, and a blood moon means it resurrects every single enemy you've killed.
Yeah.
So normally enemies stay dead, right, when you kill them until the blood moon rises, and then it resurrects every single
enemy in the world.
Yeah, in the world.
Not just
literally in the whole world.
In the whole world, in the entire planet.
All the bosses you beat.
No, not the
bosses.
Not the bosses.
Just all the
but the mid bosses.
Yeah.
Like if there was Lionels, if there's big mid bosses,
those dragons that look like Ghidorah.
Yeah, the dragons. They're
3-headed dragons.
The Cyclops looking.
Yeah.
The Hinox.
Yeah, the Hinox. But yeah, it resurrects them.
Resurrects all of them. So, even if you've defeated every single enemy in the world, as soon as that blood moon appears, which is, I've heard how many in-game days, but it happens often.
And we thought, oh god, imagine if you defeat him and then it's a blood moon and he
It's a
gets
fake out.
resurrected.
Yeah.
So you have to fight him twice.
You have to fight him twice. It's like right here. The blue moon shows up in the background, then
Yeah.
it's resurrected. But no, this is a classic. Like
I think it was just aesthetic. It was just
nuclear
aesthetic
weapon
choice.
explosion. Yeah, it was just that because it looked cooler. It's just more epic to be fighting during a blood moon. This whole explosion, like classic
Oppenheimer.
yeah, Zeldaheimer. It's like a classic, just like the explosion of the nuclear weapon.
Looks like a laser from a satellite. I like that. That
Nice.
too. That's pretty funny.
That's
like-
like pretty good.
To make sure
Yeah.
you know
Cinematic
you
right
did.
there.
Yeah.
That's a good
Give
timing.
you some
on
satisfaction. It was like, okay,
That.
you're
You did
done.
that quest. Yeah.
Like that was it, because that's the final quest, the final mission you do. I just like how I was wearing the Fierce Deity mask. It just made it that much more cooler to be defeating him with that armor on.
Best armor in all of Zelda. Aesthetically, power wise.
And it's just so much easier to acquire now, because before you had to scan in that amiibo that you had to find, you had to hunt down the amiibo for Majora's Mask as Kid Link, which was almost impossible to find out in the wild.
Does he have a like? Oh, I thought it was a Luke Skywalker bio arm.
Well, he kind of.
Yeah, kind
He
of.
kind of
actually.
does.
It's not his arm. It's someone else's arm. Like,
He kind of
And he's
does.
tatted and he's been going to the gym. He looks like
Yeah.
Justin Bieber.
but he's short. He's only 5'2".
I think Justin Bieber's pretty short. You should
Now I
look it
gotta
up.
see if
Yeah.
Justin
So maybe
Bieber is taller.
Maybe
than
they
Link.
can have him play Link.
Oh,
If he's-
dude, that
if he's-
would not. That's
Dude,
actually
he's
not a bad
too old
idea.
now.
You think he's
He
too
still
old?
has like a
Has
kid
he-
face though.
Hasn't he acted? Hasn't he acted
Not
in
good.
movies? Not good, but he's acted right before.
No,
Like
I
he's
actually
been in
don't know.
movies.
I don't know.
He's been in music videos. I mean, I don't know. That's the same thing, but
I
Oh,
mean, if
God.
you want to do, if you want
Jesus,
to
I
make
just call
a
myself.
musical,
I just call myself old. He's a year older than me.
just say how tall he is.
I'm checking that right now.
what if they have Tom
5'9".
5'9". No, he's too tall.
taller than I
He's
thought.
too tall. to be
Tom
honest.
Cruise? I
He's
think
taller
you
than
should
I
have
thought he
Tom
was.
Cruise play. Tom Cruise should play
Link?
Dude,
Wow.
how tall is?
Yeah.
Damn it! How tall is Tom Cruise now?
Tom Cruise would be perfect.
I think
He's a
he's like
kind of-
5'2". He's really short.
I don't know if they can get him to shut up for a whole movie
He's
though, because
way too old.
he's not too old. They can
Yes, he's
de-age
way
him.
too
Tom
old.
Holland is 5'7". I was putting Tom and it automatically gave me Tom Holland.
No, Tom Cruise. I think they should do it.
5'7". Tom Cruise is 5'7".
There you go.
Wow, he's the same height as Tom Holland.
But you wouldn't know it from looking at his
Justin
movies.
Bieber is taller than Tom Cruise.
I'm really surprised on that one. I really didn't think he was that tall.
Yeah, me neither. Damn. That's crazy. Mr. Short Pants. I love, like, his whole aesthetic in this game and Breath of the Wild is just no shirt. Like, that's how you start off. No shirt.
Well, he ends it the
So
way
that's
he
why he went
starts.
to the gym and hit that bench because he was gonna be no shirt throughout the whole game.
Well, I think that's why they made it. Gave him tattoos and everything. No, but it is a very like not barbaric, but very like
He does look
that
like a
type-
barbarian.
No, he does like
warrior.
kind of like that, like shirtless. And here it was just like I'm
So is this
flexing.
the
I was
highest of
flexing.
what you've been in
I
the
think
game?
so, yeah.
Even above the Sky Cities? Or
Yeah,
just
yeah,
it kind of
even
does look
above-
like you're
yeah.
above the Sky
I was
Cities.
really high during this part.
Yeah.
But even this part right here, this is like any game, right? You're controlling. This
Yeah,
is not a
he's moving.
cinematic.
Oh
No,
no,
yeah, he
this
has to
part.
catch
No,
her.
Link is in full control. I'm not even playing now.
I like
But no, that was me doing that.
reach.
Yeah, I was flexing first for her. You saw me flexing a little bit. Yeah, but it was
Oh, I love this.
above
Yeah,
the sky.
grab,
Yeah, yeah.
grab.
I almost missed the prompt too. I was like, oh, what
Grab.
happens if I don't? Then what? She falls
should've
out of
just
love
let
with
it.
me?
You should have just let it and see
I
what
should
happened.
have.
You have to do the whole fight again.
Oh, that would
No,
suck. dude.
it wipes
That would
out your
suck.
save file. How dare you let her, the goddess, Hylia, fall to her
And
death?
I like this. You dive into the pool. This is the first pool you dive into.
Yep.
When you drop from
So
the
it's
Sky Islands.
reflecting back to the beginning of the game.
Oh, this is the beginning of the game, essentially.
Yeah.
Towards, yeah.
Because you start in the Sky Islands,
and
and
this
then
is the first pool you fall into.
Yeah, and then
Oh,
when you're
okay.
dropping down
So
to
this is
the
where you drop in on the when
Yeah.
it starts the game.
first pool.
So full circle.
Which is the whole aesthetic of Tears of a Kingdom with the dragon, full circle. Yeah, I mean the cinematics were really the whole kind of
What about that?
storytelling was
Keep
really
that
well done.
at least voice acting, and for the next game,
should.
keep voice acting, keep cinematics like this.
I mean, they were better than even Breath of the Wild and better than any Zelda so far. It really convinced you. It was, and just it didn't take away from any of the mechanics in the games.
Link, how are you?
I forgot about this part.
And we all knew she was gonna. So she was.
Well,
in the,
we
she was stuck,
didn't know that she was gonna be
I
returned.
knew. She was stuck in the past. The only way for her to go forward into the future is she had to eat secret stone.
Yeah, she did.
She had to eat the secret stone to turn herself into a dragon to live for like
Eternity.
eternity, so that she could live as a dragon into the modern time where Link is and help him out.
Yeah, so I guess doing that,
But
consuming the secret stone turns you to the eternal dragon.
and you
thing,
can't.
and-
That's it. You're a dragon
that's it.
forever.
Yeah, you're-
but when they said that, I'm like, there's no way they're gonna keep her as a dragon.
They could have, but
No,
I don't.
because I knew exactly there's gonna be some magic thing that happens at the end. Oh, we figured out how to turn you back.
So how did they do it here?
I think it's literally just because they don't
He
really
saved
explain
her?
it.
'Cause
Yeah,
he
'cause
killed
saved her.
Ganondorf?
Yeah, I think that's literally it.
No, in his hand, because that power up, whatever he had.
Oh yeah, his hand healed her. That's what it
Yeah,
was. Yeah.
and then the other two sages helped him. So they combined their two powers and did
This
like
is Hyrule Castle.
that's Hyrule Castle.
Damn, that's crazy.
After it was upheavaled,
Oh, it
Like,
was
it was
lower
like-
before
yeah, it was lower. It was on actually on the
surface.
on the surface itself.
but
But
then
that
it got lifted.
yeah, during Breath of the Wild's upheaval, which is like everything, all the boom like went up in the air with a bunch of other stuff. Which is and this explains why those Sky Islands are even up there now.
Oh yeah, because it was stuff that was actually underground that came through.
From the upheaval of Breath of the Wild, yeah.
Mhm.
And so yeah, but during the whole playthrough, I mean, you can visit the castle itself. You don't have to actually like you can fly if you find a way to build a machine, even if you don't have the glider or you can't climb up there because your stamina is not that high up. And then complete. I like how that always says
There is an ending cutscene. Do you want to?
what's after all the credits roll.
Yeah.
I can't believe such an impressive land.
So of course Ozzy, because he watches so much MCU, he knew there was going to be a post-credit scene.
Obviously.
You didn't know?
I didn't know. I had no idea. I thought that was when it said the end. I was like, okay, I'm just going to turn my game off.
He's like, no, wait.
No, I just closed the
over
switch.
here, not
Yeah.
knowing about post
Okay,
credit
stop
scenes.
the tape, rewind it. Let's.
I was just going to
Put it
close
back-
the app.
take it back to
or- That was
Blockbuster.
it. I was done with the game. I was going to go sell it back to GameStop.
For $2.
At least.
With all of you.
They might have given me like $250.
I've never been this far up before, Goro.
No, store credit.
Oh yeah, you're right. Store
$2.50
credit.
of store credit.
And that would have
Yeah.
been just like $5 of store credit.
You were roaming the skies all along?
Yes, although I don't really remember. I never thought
So she
I'd
was the sage that
stand
was
to
taking
again.
over the construct,
That machine.
that
mech.
machine mech.
This is only a theory, but Raru's power of light and Sonia's time power.
Ozzy, had you beat Ganondorf yet? Or you?
No.
Or how much did you play?
I've like explored a lot and then did one dungeon.
Oh, okay.
And it's just because you get distracted, just like exploring the Sky Islands, exploring looking
That's
for all
why
the
I have a hard
parts.
time playing like Zelda games like that. Like it's been a long time since I played one, but mostly just dabbled in them. And yeah, I like would get super distracted, and then I like more of a linear thing where you like.
Now it seems. It is
I don't
my
know.
time.
Well, before with other Zeldas, you probably would have been able to stay on track more because they felt more linear. but now since Breath of the Wild,
It just feels like
'Cause
overwhelming. Like I don't
it
even
is.
know what
it really is
where
now.
to go, what to do.
You no longer need me.
Because that's the
Like
same thing.
Majora's
I know I
Mask.
can move on.
Yeah,
It
that
was
one's
more
pretty
like,
good.
you know, even though you went back and forth in time and that kind of thing, there was, I felt more structure to that, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if it's been a while since you've played any Zelda and your first, I wouldn't
I was going to play
recommend.
Tears of the Kingdom. Well, I was debating because I got my OLED Switch, you know, I think it was like not this past Christmas, but the one before. And since then, I've been trying to figure out if I should get Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. And I was like paralyzed by decision. I didn't get either one.
I say get Tears of the Kingdom. If you want to get caught up in the story, just watch a YouTube video, because that's what I did. Because I think Tears of the Kingdom is like the best of the two, especially because of the added Sky Islands and Underground.
Yeah, if you're just getting into the game for this style of Breath of the Wild for the first time, probably might as well just jump into Tears of a Kingdom,
Yeah,
because that's what I told Ozzy. I
and
told
that's
him,
what I did. I was like,
don't even finish
I was like
Breath of the Wild.
not even
just,
close to finishing Breath of the Wild either, and I really wanted to play Tears of the Kingdom when it was coming out, and then I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna watch a YouTube video, catch up on the story, and I jumped in straight to Tears of the Kingdom.
Jay, did you finish Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, I finished it, but it was years.
Oh,
So what I did is I had the save file from years ago, and that one I have almost twice as much playtime as Tears of a Kingdom. But I beat it years ago. But what I did is a few months before this game was released, just when they were announcing the trailers, and I was just really looking forward to it, I went back to the old save file, saw how much progress I had made, found every shrine, and then just rebeat it again. But I bought this game twice. I actually bought Breath of the Wild I bought twice. I bought it on the Wii U, and then when it came out on the Switch, I bought it again on the Switch. I had beat the Wii U version, and then when the DLC hit for the Switch version, I got the Switch and then got the DLC for that. Then forgot that I actually had already beat the Switch version.
Oh yeah, you told me this.
And I went back and I looked at my save file, and forgetting, because I'm a dumbass, I forget that, okay, it doesn't save after you beat Ganondorf. So I looked at my save file, I'm like, oh man, I forgot to beat the Switch version of Breath of the Wild. So I go back into it a few months before. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Either way, it works out. And I beat it again, and I
you're
waited
like,
for
wow,
it to
that was
save.
really easy.
Yeah, it was really easy. And I'm like, this looks familiar, even for the Switch version. I think I might have. And then I look at the end and it doesn't save it. And I realize, oh yeah, I just forgot I had beat it.
Wow.
But it worked out, because then I got to see the story again. And I always like beating that game again. And then I was just messing around for, like, he saw I was playing Breath of the Wild for like a month before that, just trying to find everything again to make sure I had everything. And then when this game came out, because I didn't want to get distracted, I just wanted to play this game. And I told them, don't even play once this game comes out, don't even play Breath of the Wild anymore. I mean, you just go back to it nostalgically, because I'll probably maybe revisit it in a few years, but I don't think I'll stop playing Tears of a Kingdom anytime soon. So the same for you. I mean, I think you should just play this game if you're first getting into it. Then later on, if it's on sale or something, Breath of the Wild, yeah, sure, get it if you want physical or even digital.
They added so much stuff
They
to
did.
this game. To like, there's more side stuff. There's more side quests. They added like caves that in Breath of the Wild.
Are the fight mechanics and that kind of thing similar?
Yeah.
Or is it different?
Similar, but they added some different powers to use too.
It's similar, but yeah, I would say that if you're just getting into the combat for Breath of the Wild, you might as well just get into the combat for this one. If you're going to learn everything brand new, and then the benefit of it is like it just expanded everything else, like the amount of attachments you can have on weapons, on your shield.
Oh
on
yeah,
your
so that's
bow
the new
and
thing.
arrow.
So Breath of the Wild, you would find like swords in the wild. You would find like different swords, different power-ups and stuff. And then in this game, they added the ability to fuse any two weapons together, or any weapon with a material in the world.
That enemies might drop like some material, like a horn or a hammer looking thing, or just anything that an enemy might drop. You can actually fuse it to a weapon.
So yeah, just I would say jump into Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay, Jay, give us an outro.
Okay, this was me, Jay, beating Tears of a Kingdom, fighting Ganondorf for the first time. and probably the last time. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like and consider subscribing and checking out some of our other videos, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.